can already sense it. And it's going to be awkward. We're going to point at you, make fun of you, the whole shebang. It's going to be weird. So just go ahead and preemptively silence it, put it on vibrate. If you have a question, raise your hand. We'll bring the mic to you. If we do bring the mic to you, please hold it in the same way that I'm holding it. And do your best to not fidget around with it. If you could just hold it, again, as I'm holding it, and just keep it like this. Don't tap on it or all that stuff. Again, it's just going to be weird if you're doing that. Anyways, thanks for coming, everybody. If we can, some people in the back, could you fill in towards the front a little bit, just in case the late stragglers, they'll sit in the back. We appreciate everybody being here on time. We really appreciate that. Anyways, that's all for me. Thanks for coming. Happy Sunday.
Thanks, Chris.
You said thanks, Chris. Amazing.
You what?
Are we ready yet?
How we doing?
How'd the video go?
It was fun.
Just checking the stream right now. We'll let you know when you run.
It was amazing.
What unit you from?
Where's Nick? Nick,
He's checking on the stream.
He's going to get you to introduce church. So
who?
Nick is working with that.
Yeah.
Oh. So what game did I play Friday?
VR chat.
VR chat. You know what that is?
We're running the intro.
It's when you go into the... Really?
I got motion sickness.
Jesse, we're live.
You have high blood pressure or something? What?
We're live.
Welcome to church. I am Jesse Peterson. Thank you so much for being with me. You can get involved by going to our chat line, and James of the Hake Report will let me know. Welcome, everybody. How y'all?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Difficult times. Any questions? Anybody here for the first time? Oh, good. Right on. Over here first and then to them. What's your name and how did you hear about us?
My name is Jonathan, and I heard about you through YouTube.
Right on. Thank you for coming, man. Any questions or comments or disagreements?
Just here for the experience.
I'm sorry?
Here for the experience.
What?
Here for the experience.
Oh, right on. Ain't nothing like the experience. It's going to be amazing. Yes, ma'am. The young lady in front of you right there.
Hello, my name is Sang Kyung-seo. I attend the Oasis Church, Koreatown in LA, but our church didn't open yet.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah. I saw you YouTube. So actually, you are my son's hero. He's at home now. He said he's not ready to see you yet. So yeah, we came here first.
How old is he?
24.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming.
Okay.
Any questions or disagreements or anything?
No.
No. Okay. Thank you for coming. And this is your first time as well?
Yeah.
And
I'm her husband.
I'm sorry?
I'm her husband. My name is Sang.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, welcome. Any questions or disagreements or anything?
No.
What is it like being married to her? So what? Everything? It's hard, huh?
Yeah.
You're like, yeah.
All right,
How long you been married?
24 years.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's a long time,
Mm-hmm.
especially today.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hang in there. Don't stay with her so in about 50 years she'll come around.
All right. I hope so.
He said, I hope so. Anybody else first time? Right here. What's your name?
My name is Herbert Mejia.
Herbert. Welcome, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
How did you find us?
YouTube, I've been hearing you for like 2 years, and then I started taking you like more seriously this year, and
Right on.
it's really changing me. And thank
Right
you.
on.
Thank you.
Did you go and forgive your mother yet?
No, I'm still trying to. I want to like understand that more and see if
You
know,
want to understand what more?
like just to forgive. I know I have to forgive my mother, but just I know God will lead me tell me how to do it, but I don't know. I feel like I just have to see it, or I need to hear you talk about it more. Or something.
About forgiving your mother? What else do you want to hear? You've been listening for 2 years. That's amazing. And are you afraid to deal with her?
No.
And why haven't you gone to her and said, hey, I'm sorry for resenting you? I realize you're crazy and can't help it.
I haven't confronted her yet, but
What are you waiting for?
I think next time I confront her, I will, because I don't live with her, and we're like an hour and 30 minutes apart. So when I do visit her once every week or something, I want to tell her in person. You know?
Yeah.
Instead
absolutely.
of the phone.
And so you living on your own now?
I live with my father in the valley here. Yeah, I rent a room.
Are you close to your father?
Yes, very. Thank God.
Yeah. Good, man. Any questions or disagreements about anything?
All right, now just here for the experience like everybody else.
Right on.
Thank you.
I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
Right here. This your first time?
Yes, it is.
And
My
how
name,
did you find us?
my friend Jeremiah invited me.
Right on. Any questions or disagreements?
No.
Have you heard the radio show or anything like that?
Nope.
You've not heard the YouTube or anything?
No.
So you have no idea what we're about?
None.
This is gonna be fun. You have no idea.
No idea. I mean, God, that's it.
God?
Jesus.
Jesus?
Christian organization, that's all I know.
Right on. Well, nice. That's a good way to come. You don't have a mindset. Well, welcome, all right?
Thank you. My name's Oscar Maldonado, by the way, so
Right
pleasure to
on.
meet everyone.
If you have any questions, let me know.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anybody else first time? No? Okay. Oh, by the way, it's Esteban's birthday.
Friday, yeah.
Last Friday, right? And Esteban turned 25 years old. 25? That's amazing. I wonder what was I like at 25? Was I that different? I bought my first house at 25. Do you feel like an adult?
No, it just feels like.
You don't feel like an adult?
Well, I do.
Can you speak into the mic for me? Everybody know Esteban? Who don't know Esteban? Oh, okay. Esteban is a Mexican, and are you Mexican?
No,
You like what?
no, I'm not. I'm Colombian.
You a what?
Colombian.
Oh, that's even worse. Which would you rather be, a Mexican or a Colombian?
I feel like everyone's Mexican, so I like being Colombian.
Amazing. And so Esteban is Colombian. And on holidays, he'd like to go and do drug deals. And no, I'm playing. I'm joking. But
Yeah, he's joking.
He used to work with Hake. Originally, it was James Hake, Esteban, and Joe L. for the radio show on our network. And a holiday came up right after they started. And Joel and Esteban wanted to take off for the holiday. And James was like, no, don't take off for the holiday. We just started this show. We got to do it. No, I want to rest. Nobody listening, right? Something like that.
No, not really. It was different.
How was it?
I don't know. I forget.
I bet
But
you
it was
have.
different. It was way different. Yeah.
Was it different, James?
A little bit, yeah.
In what way?
I don't know. Well, you.
Oh, give him the mic, Chris. And let Esteban hold on to his mic, because I don't want you to hit James with the mic. James, and the show how long had the show been going on
September.
before you fired them?
Yeah, we started at the beginning of September.
Oh,
and then the Sunday was going to be Christmas Eve.
Right.
And we were doing Sundays at 9 a.m. And I was willing to do the show.
The
I was
white
like,
man.
Yeah, we can do the show.
The
And
white
then
man.
Joel and Esteban were
The color people.
we're all, let's just sleep in. It's Sunday. So that freed me up to go up to Big Bear with a buddy of mine. And you were like, you were willing to do the show, but those guys aren't willing to do it. They're fired. But you always say that I fired them.
James fired him. And so the white man wanted to continue doing it, but the colored people, the black and the Mexican, they wanted to take off for the holiday. The white man like, no, we just started. Oh, it's Christmas. And so they got fired. And the beauty is James knew they would not last because they were colored, to the point that he was already calling it the hate report. Am I right? It was the hate report, right? It was, yeah. Sound like Marvin Gaye and the Temptations, right? Temptations know they're getting fired soon. But anyway, but the show is not a hate report. And for a long time, you were mad at James, right?
No, I still watch it. It's just that I work, so I can't
But you
watch
stopped watching it right after that.
No, I don't.
Yes, you did.
No.
But anyway, his birthday. I said all that to say it's his birthday. Yeah, and also Marlene, is it your birthday too? When was your birthday?
It's next month.
Oh, so you had a party last night, though, right?
No.
Oh, you didn't have it? Oh, I'm sorry?
That wasn't me.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, happy birthday, Esteban.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, a lot going on. A lot of stuff happening, right? And these are already some hard times, especially for the children who do not have faith in God. And it's going to get worse before it get better. I was thinking this morning about how the police are stopping the blacks, and instead of the blacks following the instructions, they're acting out, and they get shot or whatever, and they blame the police and not the criminal. That's what we've gotten to today. And I was told this morning that someone said on one of the local stations that white people are not going to care about this until their children until the police start killing their children or something like that. Am I right about that statement?
Yeah, police reform will not happen until white people's kids start.
Who said that? Chris said that?
I thought
Oh,
it was Van Jones.
it was Van Jones I heard said it. Well, one of the guys allegedly said it. So I want to know from Kelly, when you hear that statement, being a white person, what do you think about that statement? That white people are not going to do anything about police reform until it starts happening to white people.
I think it's incredibly divisive.
It's amazing, huh?
Yeah, there's just like common sense has gone out the window when it comes to this, and the discussion is like polarized, almost maybe beyond repair.
And does it make you concerned? It calls for concern?
Yeah, it does, because instead of everything going back to normal, it's like they're trying to make this seesaw, right?
Yeah.
So they're like looking at history and they're trying to make it do the opposite, and it's like, where does the seesaw end? It's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's amazing. What do you think about that, Chris? You white.
It's a little bit strange because they're saying we need police reform because non-white people are killed disproportionately by police, which is not true. And so that's strange in and of itself. But yeah, it's kind of it's almost opening the door to say that, oh, okay, yeah, white people should be killed by the police, or they have to suffer immensely in order to see any kind of change in the country. And when they say it, I have to disagree, but in a larger sense, I almost do agree, because white people are so complacent these days.
Yeah.
And I hope that we can get the message to them before it gets really bad, although it's pretty bad.
It's real bad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. But like I said, white people are just totally asleep. And in fact, they're working against themselves. So I imagine it will get worse. And
Yeah.
hopefully, like I say, before then we can wake them up a little bit more. But, I just taking it one day at a time. I'm, rooting for them. I don't have high hopes, but I don't want to be, I don't want to be discouraging. To wake up, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause it's going to get worse.
Let me ask the young lady right here on the corner. When you hear that statement that white people are not going to support police reform until, yes. Until it starts happening to white people, what do you think about that? When you hear that statement, because I'm like Chris, we try to get white people to wake up before it's too late. Because right now they're already discriminating against you by teaching kids that white people are evil, they're racist, and little kids are being taught that right now. So when you hear that statement, what do you think about that?
I don't know. I probably agree with what Kelly was saying.
Does it make you concerned? It cause concern for you?
Yeah, a little bit.
But not much.
I don't know. I haven't really given it a whole lot of thought.
Oh. So maybe the white people are not thinking about this. What do you say to that when you hear that? You're so young.
I don't know. It causes like some concern for me. I take a child development class in like my high school, and basically it just like tells you, like you were saying, like to preach to young white people that they're like naturally racist and stuff like that, which is kind of concerning because like to know that that's what the next generation is going to hear from such a young age, you just
Right.
wonder if there's any hope.
That's amazing. Are you surprised that the adult white men and women are so quiet on this?
I think that it's not really surprising to me because you kind of see it everywhere in like people don't like confrontation, don't like to stand up, and don't like to be different, and stuff like that. So it's not too surprising. It's just more like disappointing, I guess.
I was told that white people don't like confrontation. Is that right?
I would say
I'm
it
just
is.
finding this out because black people love confrontation. We live for confrontation. But white people are like, no, I'd rather not say anything. So do you like confrontation yourself, or you avoid it?
I avoid it more than I get into it.
And why?
I guess I just don't like the way it makes me feel.
What does it make you feel like?
It kind of gives me like a sense of like insecurity, like is what I'm saying right because of how much it's being pushed against,
Right. Amazing. So your parents avoid confrontation as well?
I don't know about my dad. He likes to start confrontation.
Nice. Why don't you pattern after him?
It can get him into trouble sometimes, but
That's what it's for.
yeah.
Why else do you need it? But you got to start speaking up and not be afraid of confrontation.
Yeah.
Especially now that they're teaching little kids that white people are evil
Yeah.
and that they're racist and all that crap. So you got to start dealing with it. Do you agree?
Yeah, I do agree.
Don't go out there looking for it, but don't avoid it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nice. So start speaking up.
Okay.
I want to ask the black guy that's here for the first time. Right here, yeah. What do you think when you hear that white people are not going to care about police reform until their kids start happening to their kids? What do you think when you hear that?
It's sad.
And what's sad about it?
It's sad that that they have to allow their children to go through that.
Yeah. And what's even sad about it, no one says anything. There's no like, what are you talking about? They can just make the statement and it goes out on the airways and no one says anything. That's awful. At least They have a right to say it, but somebody needs to disagree with it out loud. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Did you go and forgive your mother?
Yes, I did.
How did that go?
It went well.
What did she say?
She pretty much said that you know, just allow me to, you know, forgive her. She just accepted it. She accepted it.
Well, she did?
Yeah.
What would you have done had she not accepted it?
I would have moved on.
Right on. Good, man. How about your father?
He was great about it. I did the, what do you call it, WhatsApp? Face-to-face?
Oh, FaceTime thing?
I mean, FaceTime, yeah, because he doesn't live nearby, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that went really well.
Good, man. Amazing. Well, one thing, y'all got to start speaking up. You got to start speaking up. Otherwise, Satan is going to destroy you. He really is. I want to ask this young lady a question right here. Uh-huh. Yes. Me. Is this your first time here?
Here, yeah.
This your first time here?
Yes.
Welcome.
Hello.
Are you nervous right now?
No.
Oh, good.
Just have a
How did you hear about us?
My husband.
Oh, good. Your husband brought you?
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. So I gotta ask, which is worse, a person that gossip, or the person that listens to the gossiping, to the gossip? Who is worse?
I think the person listening to the gossip.
The person that's listening is worse than the person that's telling it.
Yeah, because they have the right to tell them to not gossip and to stand up.
So what now?
To say, because the person listening can tell them to stop gossiping.
So you can the person that's listening can say stop. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. That makes sense. Do you gossip?
No, I just sleep when I come home.
Do you gossip while you're out?
No, I just, when I'm at work, no.
You don't gossip at work?
No.
How about at Starbucks?
No, I just see what I want and I order and I leave.
Oh, amazing. Any question for me?
I don't have any questions.
Well, welcome, all right?
Thank you.
I want to ask the young lady right next to you, which is worse, the person that gossip or the one that listens to the gossip?
Both.
They're both the same?
Yeah. I think
Do you listen to gossip?
Yes, sometimes.
Oh, and do you gossip?
Yes, sometimes.
What the? And why?
What? I'm sorry?
Why do you do it?
Because of jealousy or...
Because of what?
Jealousy.
Jealousy?
Or lack of confidence or something like that, yeah.
And what does your husband say when he finds out that you've been gossiping?
He's listening.
A lot of help you are, man. What the? Can you avoid gossiping or listening to it? Is there a way you can not do it?
I try to not gossiping and not to hear gossiping.
Yeah.
Yeah, not to hear. I'll try to in God's in God's.
Do you realize the person that's gossiping to you also tell other people things about you? It doesn't just stop with you. They would talk about you as well to other people.
Yeah.
You know that, right?
Yeah, I know.
So you got to stop listening to it.
Yeah.
And don't say it. Don't do it.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. It's bad to do that.
Yeah.
I want to
yeah.
ask this young lady that question.
The same question?
Yeah, which is worse? Who is worse, the one that gossip or the one that listens to gossip?
Well, I think I agree with the young lady who it was her first time coming today, because for the same reasoning, that's your opportunity to let the person know, hey, you know, that's not something I want to share. If I don't want to hear, if there's an issue that you have with that person, you should just discuss it with them instead of like sharing it with me.
So,
Because
which
I
is
think
worse though? The one to
the
hear or
per-
the
the person
messenger?
who chooses to listen to it.
Is worse than the one that,
Yes, because you have the opportunity to correct them. Because
Do
they
you
may
go-
not know that they're gossiping. You know what I
how
mean?
can they not know it?
Because if somebody
Oh,
is
they
sharing,
know it.
well, I think sometimes we can, especially with women, you can get, you know, you might slip into it, and if
What do
you're
you mean?
okay, I'm going to explain. So, if
How do
you
you
are having
slip
a
into
discussion,
gossiping?
well, if you're
Oh,
having
I
a
didn't know I was gossiping.
but that's why sometimes people need to be corrected, right? So if you're starting to have
Yeah.
a discussion and you say, oh my goodness, you know, I'm having this issue with so-and-so, like, you know, and you start sharing what happened, and then the other person starts engaging in it. So that's the opportunity for them to say, actually, you know what, that's gossiping. I think you should just take it up with that individual
Yeah.
instead. So sometimes you may want to go for advice or for counsel, and it could be delivered in a way, it could be communicated in a form of gossip as opposed to actually seeking.
Do you gossip?
I have before, but a lot of times if I start to get into it, if I'm will be aware of it and I'll stop.
When the last time you gossiped?
Oh, I don't know. Let's see.
Like this morning?
No, not this morning. Not this morning. Maybe last week, possibly, but I was aware of it, and so then
And you
I
did it
nipped-
anyway?
No, I didn't do it. I was aware, and so, but it's a growth thing, right? So you
It's a
have to
what?
be. It's a growth thing. So
growth.
if you're recognizing you're doing something and you are aware of it, then you can stop it. You can stop that action, stop that behavior.
Oh, okay. And have you ever said to them, I don't want to hear?
Yes, many times.
Okay.
All the time.
Amazing.
I tell people, go deal with that person. Like, I don't care. Just talk
Let
to
the
them
person
about it.
know, yeah. How about you? Which is worse, to gossip or to hear gossip?
Yeah, no, I agree with her saying that sometimes people don't realize, like, you go to vent or whatever, and then it can turn into something. And that's where it is the other person's responsibility, and to be a good friend to that person and tell them, hey, it's turning into something else that's like poisonous, like you should stop that, and here's how you can fix it. Go to talk to the person and
Yeah.
cut it out and then nip it in the bud, and there's not going to be an issue because you're just going to let it fester, right? So if you're not going to tell that person and help correct them, then they may they'll just slip into it, and then you're a part of them hurting themselves.
So do you gossip?
I have, yeah.
And when the last time? Yesterday with her or last week with her?
Yesterday.
Yesterday?
Oh. Well, I was at an event and there was stuff happening, and then I'll catch myself, you know, I'm a human, and then you were saying, like you always say, the devil doesn't take a break.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's a constant thing. So you got to constantly be watching how you are going about things and the information that you're receiving and what you choose to do with it and how you're going to go about things, And so, yeah, opportunities will present itself, and I am but an errant human trying to be better every second that I can.
Amazing. Let me ask this young lady, and then I'll come to you, sir. You look like you gossip. No, I'm playing.
Thank you.
I'm joking. Which is worse, the person that gossip or the one that's listening?
I'd say I would agree with them, the people who listen and entertain it, because it gives fuel to the person who's venting or, gossiping.
Do you gossip?
No.
You've never done it?
No, I would think more with family, because now I'm working from home, so eliminating out exterior or like other people. It's kind of just like myself and what I'm going to
So
talk
you
about.
just gossip with family members?
It could be that way, yeah. Like if my mother has an issue with a sibling, they'll come to me and be like, have you talked to your sister because of blah, 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 and you listen in that sense. Or,
And do you correct them or you hear?
lately, yes,
Oh,
I
okay.
do correct.
Is it
but
hard to correct it?
yes,
correct
because I mean, I try to do it in the most respectful way, but generally my dealings with my mother would just be like listening, but more so now that I'm like more aware of like the truth and what's right, I will speak up, and that kind of gets me in like the doghouse with her.
Oh, good. Amazing.
Keep it up. I know, right?
Have you forgiven your mother?
Yes.
How did that go?
It was like a up and down. Like there was one moment where she was very like, I understand, like I did the best that I could. And then she'd switch it, but your father, kind of thing. So, so I mean, she was like, I'm sorry, I did the best that I could. Like if you have that, forgive me for doing the best that I could being a single mother,
Are you living with her now?
No.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
You live way away?
Yeah, I live like an hour and 30 from her.
Oh, good. Keep it that way.
Yeah.
No, I'm playing. You got to start the gossiping. Men don't gossip, right?
Yeah.
Oh, look at how the ladies like, oh, yes, they do. Men gossip?
Oh, yeah.
What do you say? Male gossip. Oh, yeah?
There's plenty of betas.
Esteban, you gossip?
No, never. No, I don't.
No, I can't see Esteban gossiping. Well, we know you gossip. No, hold on a minute. I want to go to this young man first. Come back. Hey, come back. I want to go to this young. It's so important that this has to stop. It really does have to stop. It's not good to do this at all. And that's not the way the children of God should be acting. If you have a problem with someone, you should go to that person, tell that person about it, and be done with it. Wish them well. All right? We shouldn't be living like the world is living. Really. We got to be in the world, but not of it. We got to be different. We got to show the world because they're in darkness, and then we're acting like darkness. How will they find their way out? You know what I mean? We are the children of the light. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I got a quick two questions.
Okay.
One is on the gossip. I used to gossip, but I stopped that many years ago.
Boy, you just like your mama. I used to gossip.
I used to gossip.
What made you do it
question
beforehand?
This is the question I wanted to ask was, can you define gossiping? Because I may go to a friend and talk hell of about the president and, just blah, blah, blah about what's going on, why.
But that's not gossiping to talk about what's happening in the outer world. But if you have an issue with someone and you don't go to that person, but you go to someone else, then that's gossiping.
Okay.
But
yeah.
if you're talking about the news and what's happening in the world, that's a different thing.
Oh, okay. That's
That makes
clear.
sense?
Yes, totally.
Yeah.
The second question I wanted to ask you was, I know you have the kids go and apologize to their parents.
Right.
Can a parent go to the kid and tell them to apologize to them?
They could go and apologize for what they've done. Hey, I was wrong, I was impatient, or I imposed my will on you, or I turned you away from your father, or the father, I turned you away from your mother, whatever happened. You could go and say, I was wrong for doing that, and I'm sorry for that.
And then they wouldn't necessarily have to then say it back to you at some point. It's just
They don't have to know.
Okay.
It's the same way if you go to your parents, they don't have to say I was wrong. And when you forgive them, God will forgive you. Because human beings don't forgive one another.
So that would set him free if I go to him, and it would set him free say I'm sorry for all that happened, what I did.
If you went to your
Yeah.
child? Yeah, because a lot of kids, when they hear their parents apologize, they let it go. The problem is most parents would not admit that they're wrong. But yeah, it could help them. It could cause your child to say, oh, okay, that's nice, finally. You know what I'm saying? But at least you'll be done with it. How old is your child?
22.
How much?
22.
And you need to apologize to them?
Well, during his upbringing, some things had occurred between me and his mother and the family, this small knit family. And now that he's older, I can see that we have it's some tension there. It's just something there between the both of us.
Right. My son, when he turned 18 years old, he came out here to live with me. And I just told him right away, hey, sorry about what happened with your mother and I. I was wrong for making a baby out of wedlock. I didn't marry you. I mean, your mother, and I knew you were going to go through hell. So I'm sorry about it, because he was real mad, right? But he didn't accept it right away. He acted out. And I'm like, well, I told you I'm sorry, but you can't act this way in my home. You got to cool out. And then one time he made a long distance call on my phone. And at that time we only had landlines, I think. Yeah. And I put him out because you can't use my phone. So I put him out, and he went back to New York, and years later he realized that he was wrong for holding on to that. He called me up, and we've been tight ever since. But I had to wait until he was ready to let it go.
Okay, so that's possible that.
Yeah. So your son might not accept it right away, but you have to be patient, let him go through what he got to go through, and then he may come around. That makes sense? Well, at least you will be free.
Right.
I remember my son, he was 18, and he was mad at me, and I'm like, I'm going to get this, I'm going to show him mad. And so we went and played basketball at the court, and I said, I'm going to beat him. I'm going to make sure I beat him. And I worked real hard to beat him, and I beat him. And he was ticked. But I had so much fun with that. I beat him on the court. I had never played basketball in a long time. But I did it just to get back at him. Okay.
There's a really sad movie of Denzel Washington.
So what?
There's a really sad movie of Denzel Washington.
Yeah.
It's like that. You got game.
Oh, yeah. You got to forgive, folks. You got to let it go. You got to let it go. Marlene, what do you think about gossiping? Who is the worst? The one that gossip or the one that listens to the gossiping?
I agree with the ladies. It's the one that listens to the gossip.
Why is that person worse than the one that's gossiping?
Because, again, what like the ladies have said, sometimes you think you're venting, and then it does become gossip if the other person, oh yeah, she did this and then she did that. So
you could gossip without knowing it? You think you're venting?
Yeah, because I have called, like my mom or my dad, for example, I'm explaining the situation and I want their advice, how do I handle it? That's the whole purpose. If you're in a situation, how do I handle this? How do I, resolve this? And they give you feedback, you should work on this.
But how about if you were to go to a friend or someone and gossip about another friend? Is that gossiping or venting?
Then I don't do that because...
No, not you, but is it gossiping or venting?
If you're talking about somebody in a negative way, then it is gossiping, yeah. I guess what you're saying, yeah.
Right. You're not sure?
No, I am sure. I am sure, yes.
And so is that person better than the one that's listening to that?
Perhaps not, because they're coming from it's coming from an evil place. If it's hatred, right?
Yeah.
So you're putting it out there, right?
Yeah. Instead of going, especially with Christians, you're supposed to go to one another. Now, the children of the lie, they'll go around and gossip. But if you have love, if you're truly of God and you have love, you're going to go to the other person and be done with it. Let it off. So stop it. All right, everybody? Guys don't do that, right? Let me ask you, this is your first time here. This is a perfect question for you then. Do you gossip? Man, you're taking too long to answer that.
I'm
That
trying to
must
think,
be
man.
yes.
No, I don't think so.
You don't gossip?
I don't remember the last time I gossiped.
Oh, so you don't do it.
I don't think so.
And why not?
Well, if I have to express myself, like, I'll express myself.
Would you go to the
And-
person or someone else?
To the person.
So which is worse, the one that's gossiping or the one that's listening to it?
Well, I'll give you an example. Like when my girlfriend's gossiping about her coworkers,
Yeah.
it's like sometimes just the way she like discuss certain situations, she's upset, or maybe she's asking, this is her way of asking for an opinion, asking, was I right about that? Was I not? So I would express my opinion about that situation, and she works at a restaurant, so she's a bartender. So as you can imagine, it's very hectic
Yeah.
there. The environment, everyone gossips. She even says that. She gets tired of people talking shit about people that she.
Talking what?
Huh? I'm sorry. I apologize for.
Are you a millennial? How old are you?
I'm 30.
Oh, yeah. It's
29,
fine.
going on 30. I turned 30 this year, so yeah. Well, anyway.
I talked to a Z. I was doing this little game thing, and we were talking to a Z. He was 17, I think, right? 16. Every word was a cuss word. Every word. I'm like, what the? So I'm used to it.
Yeah, that's
And
like
the
that's
Lord
what
is too.
of course, and that's I'm just trying to I'm trying to explain exactly what
Right,
what
I
she
understand.
verbally said. So,
Yeah.
and she gossips, and I'm like, hey, focus your energy on what, like the positive things. Like, okay, in your opinion, your own opinion, like what would if you had to put a stop to it, what would you do?
Yeah.
Like, let's say you ran the restaurant, right? You're lead bartender, and when the managers are not around, they trust you with the keys, and they
Yeah.
trust you to manage the staff for a few hours, and you actually saw that, spiral out of control. What would you do? How would you put a stop to it? Of course, you will address those issues. You don't just continue to, like the young lady said, fester, right? Because that's why you get upset every time you mention the same thing. You're just like, you're more upset because it builds up.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
instead of allowing that gossip to go around and poison the environment, just like, hey, stand up. Like, just like, kind of like put a stop to it. Why? Because at the end of the day, it's not going to serve you.
That's right, man. It is over once you go to the source. You're done with it then. It's totally over with. So when God said, go to the person and then drop it, he meant that because he wants you to be free. So once you go to the person, it's over with. You're done with it. Really. Even if the person doesn't admit that they were wrong, you're done with it because you went to them. All right? So let's do it right. Anybody disagree with that? Nobody disagree? Oh, okay. All right. So my biblical question. Anybody have any questions for me? Everybody doing fine? So, because I don't like preaching to y'all, I like to fellowship. All right? Did you have, yeah, you had your hand, right? Yes, sir. And then I have to get to the biblical question.
So, what would be a good way to go about to express, like, showing, because, I know, like, I hope this isn't gossiping, but, like,
Yeah,
whenever
it's
you
gospel.
talk.
When you have to say, I hope this isn't gospel.
No, but
then
you could
that's
see
it.
look, you could see the evil. You could see the evil in people, and you could see it for your very own eyes. So how would you go about to like showing it to everyone else, exposing it to try to change it?
What do you mean?
Like
If you see it, why do you need to expose it?
because I want other people to see it.
Why?
Because it's taken over this first of all this city right now currently.
I'm
like
sorry?
Okay, let's get specific, like BLM. So I could see it, and I see what they're doing. How do I get other people to see what they're doing and do something about it?
Live in the presence of God, and He will guide you on how.
Okay.
He will show you how. But if you are unconscious about it, you'll do the wrong thing.
Okay.
It's best to stay in the present so you make sure you do the right thing.
Okay. All right. Sounds great.
That makes
Yeah,
sense?
Yeah, no, that's what I've been doing, you know.
Yeah,
Just
right
you know,
on.
getting out of my thoughts and you
Right
know,
on.
just letting it let go, let God.
Yeah, exactly. The biblical question, what is the greatest evil? You guys know about the biblical question, right? What is the greatest evil? Yes, James. You had your hand?
A super chat on the biblical.
Okay.
Mr. Sandman gave a YouTube super chat answering the biblical question. It says, the greatest evil is a man's ego, because you must come to God with humility to receive the Holy Ghost.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. We have any Christians in here? Yeah. What's the greatest evil? This is such an amazing question. It's up there, yes.
Yeah, it's definitely the ego. So I have come to realize that I still have a strong ego. So
You have a strong ego?
Yeah.
What made you realize that?
The meeting on Thursday.
Oh yeah, we had an amazing women's forum on Thursday. I thought I was gonna have to call the police. It was good though.
Yeah, because you're not being humble, you know, so God does not want somebody prideful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you know you were that way before that meeting, or did you
No.
see yourself in a different way?
I definitely saw myself in a different way because I've been thinking about it. I've always supposedly prided myself of being honest and friendly, and there was a person that mentioned that I have this wall, right? And it's true. I started, thinking about it. Why do I put this wall? And the wall that I put does not come from God. It comes from the ego. It's evil. And when I feel like people are going to hurt me or they've hurt me, I put up this wall of indifference and I ignore them like they don't exist. And that's not
Amazing.
nice. Yeah.
So that meeting made you see that about yourself?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why it's good to have those type of meetings
I-
where they're all open and honest and
Yeah.
private.
So I've been
Right
talking
on.
to my dad about it, and I reconciled with him back in December. So in a way, I did ask him that I guess I still have this little girl issue, right? Growing up, I've always tried to destroy things just growing up. When parties happened, I would always make a scene just to ruin a day for my sisters, for my family.
Yeah.
And I told this to my dad, and he really didn't realize how much his absence had affected us.
Yeah.
Apparently, my brother on his side is also has issues with alcohol for like me. So it's been great. It really has been great. It's been rough. But I appreciate it. So
Did
thank
you
you.
say with alcohol like me?
Yeah.
You have an issue with alcohol?
Yeah, because I behave very inappropriate when I'm under the influence.
And how often are you under the influence?
Probably, I've been tracking it just because I really want to stop, but it's been like once a month.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You get drunk?
Yeah, I can't help myself, like
That's
I can't
amazing.
control it, right?
I can see you now drunk. And so how do you feel about getting drunk?
I don't like it. I don't like it. It's
Why not?
Because I become obnoxious. It's evil. I don't like the person that I become. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I hurt people and I disrespect people. It's ugly. It's
Yeah.
ugly. Yeah.
Are you doing the silent prayer?
Yes.
You started back on it?
Yes. That's.
Why did you stop?
I told you this Thursday.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh. Do you want to tell me now? Or you
I
don't?
can say it again.
You don't have to if you don't want to.
Yeah, I'll share it.
I can't imagine I can't imagine not doing the silent prayer. So I could stay with God. Because in the presence of God, your mind is being renewed, your whole life is being renewed in ways that you can't even imagine. Because we can't change ourselves. Of ourselves, we can do nothing. But He will change you. That's what's so interesting about it. And it's nothing like what you can imagine. So I can't imagine not staying with the Father. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead.
I had started smoking weed, so
You get drunk and smoke weed?
Right.
What else?
Right. So I started doing that again the last month, actually, probably the last 2 months. And yeah, so slowly, you know, I stopped doing the silent prayer at night, and then
Yeah.
that's how it
How
how it
often do you
started.
smoke weed?
Probably like every other weekend I was doing it.
How often do you smoke weed?
Every other weekend.
You said probably like you weren't for sure.
Yeah, like every
Most of the time when
every
people
weekend.
say probably, that means they're more.
So it's like what, Friday, Saturday, you know, like
Every weekend?
Yeah.
Every weekend?
Yes.
Amazing. So did you get high last night?
No, that's why I've been doing the silent prayer, because I
Oh.
stopped getting high.
Okay.
Yeah.
And why are you doing it?
The weed,
Uh-huh.
I just like getting high.
She said, I just like getting high. What is good about? So let me ask, do you go out and buy your own weed?
Yes.
That is so interesting.
Yeah. I used to do it a lot when I was in Chicago with my ex. We were smoking all types of weed every day.
Yeah.
I became very dependent on it.
And you
so-
just like getting high.
Yes.
Which is better, being drunk or being high?
I'm gonna say it's being high.
Oh, being high is better?
Yeah, because well, for me, okay. Again.
Right.
I see people shaking their heads, but
That's right.
yeah, because I just stay home and I chill and I'm just at home. But when I drink, I become what's this word? Just destructive. And I don't like how
Yeah.
alcohol changes me.
And so when you do the silent prayer, do you still get high?
No.
You don't do it?
No.
What made you start with the prayer?
Well, because I started getting high,
Oh,
I would
you
just go to bed and I wouldn't do the silent prayer.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Amazing. So you're back doing it again?
Yes, that's why I came to this realization about the wall that I put up.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
That's right. Stay with that.
I appreciate it, Jesse. It was tough, but I really appreciate the advice and the help on Thursday.
Right on. It was an amazing meeting. Huh? It was so good. I'm not accustomed to women getting high and drunk. It's odd to me because when I was growing up, women didn't get high and drunk. It was men who did it when it was done, right? And I do remember having my grandmother's, I think it was her sister or something. She used to get drunk, and everybody would laugh at her. And she was married and everything, right? And she would get drunk like on the weekend, and she would come over, and she'd like be just dancing. And my grandmother would say, "You need to go and set your A down." And we would laugh at it, and she like, "Ain't nothing wrong with Aunt Tay having a little fun." She would be drunk. So it was so odd because I'm not used to women getting drunk and high. I don't even know what I would do with her if I had a girlfriend and she was drunk and high. I'd beat her. It seems so sloppy. You know what I'm saying? You guys like women that get high and drunk? You millennial guys? Y'all lying. Can't you tell they like, no. Sammy was the very first one. No. You don't get high with, have you gotten high with a girl? Yeah. Well, you like it then.
Let me get the mic.
So you've got high with girls?
Yeah, but
Well, did it seem weird that the girl would be high?
I didn't like when my ex-girlfriend would get high and drunk, cause she would just start trying to fight everybody, and I'm not that type of person. Like,
Right.
I'm like, man, what's wrong with you? Nah, but nah, I don't like it. I never liked it.
And why not?
Cause like you
Because-
say, it doesn't look natural. It's
Right.
like women can't. They already have trouble, like, you know, when they're sober, kind of handling themselves and
Yeah.
like being logical, and then when they're drunk, man,
Oh,
they
yeah.
just completely gone.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Lady, don't get high. Do you get high? Uh-huh.
I've never done drugs in my life, actually, so no.
Really?
Yes.
Nice. And do you get drunk?
No.
I
Oh.
have like, I always know my limits, 1, 2, max 3 cocktails, and that's it. I cut myself off.
Right on. I'm not even accustomed to women drinking, period, to be honest. It just doesn't seem right. But that's what they do today. So the biblical question, what is the greatest evil? Yes, sir.
Oh, I actually have two in mind, but I'll explain the first one really quickly. The first one would be temptation. Tolerance.
Why do you say that?
I feel like people like they know like something's bad is happening, but the thing is they don't know what to do, so they just stick with it. But I think the second one would be separation from the Heavenly Father.
And why do you say that?
I mean, I say that because whenever you spend I spend time with my dad, it's like I feel like I'm at peace, I'm at the present, and when I'm separated from him, it's like I think my mind changes. If that makes sense.
Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. Victoria, and then this young man over here. What is the greatest evil?
I'm not sure, but I think it's, I'll speak for myself, knowing what the right thing is to do and not doing it.
You think that's the greatest evil?
Yeah, because it really does still boil down to like ego, which is separation from
Okay.
God because you think you know better.
Okay.
You know, so.
Amazing. Okay, over here, where on the back row there. And then this young man want to answer it. I can see it all over you, man. Yes.
I think we got the answer to the question. It's women getting drunk and high, right? No, but
pretty close.
Yeah. I actually like what we had said already about pride and ego and knowing what's right and doing wrong still. Because I thought about this question a little bit. I
Yeah.
smoked on it. But it was...
You smoke pot?
No, I don't.
Oh.
Not anymore. I thought
I
about...
think every millennial smoke pot at one
crazy.
time or another. Okay.
I think it is knowing the truth, knowing God, and choosing to go against that and trying to play God yourself.
Okay.
Like how Satan did. That's the only thing that comes to my mind.
All
Just
right.
that when you think about the greatest evil, it is being in the presence of God and actively denying Him.
Oh, okay. Right here, and then Big Bob want to respond. I can't call you. What's your real name? Yeah, Derek. I'm forgetting your real name because I hear Big Bob all the time. Yes, sir. Have you thought about this before? What is the greatest evil?
Yeah, when you asked a question this week on the show, and
Yeah.
I think it's the devil tricking people, especially the younger generations, into thinking he isn't real, that he doesn't exist.
Interesting. Amazing. Okay. What's the greatest evil?
I say playing God.
Playing God. Why do you say that?
Because there's only one God. Doing the ego, the judgment, judging other people, and which is hateful, that's evil.
Oh, okay.
And it's not godlike.
Let me ask your daughter. Where you been?
I've been with my sister.
How's school?
It's all right.
Are you back in the classroom now? Or you still doing it from home?
I'm gonna keep going from home because they say that we have to the teacher can't come and help you, and then there's two they split the hallway. So, and then there's only one person to go in the bathroom at a time. And if I have to use the bathroom, I'm gonna use the bathroom no matter how many people are in there.
So you're just gonna stay home?
Yeah.
What grade are you?
I'm a sophomore.
Oh, okay. What is the greatest evil?
I agree with the ego, but at the same time, I think it's your thoughts because, I don't know, it's every time I get a thought, I'm like really? That's not, because it's not you, so it's it's the devil, and the devil is evil. And I think so when you have a thought, it's the most evil thing because he's telling you something to do or something that was something that's oh, if you don't do this, you're gonna your parents are gonna pass away. That's not how things
Right.
work, and that's
Yeah.
very evil to think like that. Anyways.
Oh, okay. Amazing. How about you in the white shirt?
Yeah, similar, like just not being in the present.
Not being in the present?
Yeah.
And why do you say that's the greatest evil?
Because, like what you just said, I think the devil will pull you into the future and into the past, and that's why the silent prayer is important to stay in the now.
Oh, okay. Amazing. So Irma's want to respond, and then Nick, then I'll come to you after Irma's.
I responded last week, but I'll repeat it. I said playing God.
Oh, playing God.
Yeah.
And why do you say playing God?
I mean, it just seems like the ultimate ego trip.
To play God?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What do you say, Nick? The anchor baby.
I think I said something really deep on the show. It was.
Yeah. You said something really deep on the show.
I think I said.
It was so deep, I don't even remember.
I think I said the white queso sauce at Chipotle.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I think I'm gonna change. I think I'm gonna change my answer.
I would too if I were you.
So am I supposed
Nick
to-
is going to be hosting the show for me this Friday. His first time.
So am I supposed to be serious now? No, okay. Well, the Bible says. I think the Bible says something interesting.
What?
Doesn't it say something about the unforgivable sin? Something about like blaspheming the Holy Spirit?
Oh, you think that's the greatest evil?
It could be. I mean, the Bible says it.
I changed my mind. I'm going to get someone else to do it. Right here. And then here. Isn't this an amazing question? Yes.
Yeah. I don't think there is a greatest evil because I see evil around the world and they're dumb, they're slow, they're retarded, they're blind, they can't see at all. They can't see what they're doing. They can't even see that they're so dumb.
Right.
So I don't think there's a greatest evil because there's nothing greater. Evil is just evil. I already.
So you think it's all the same?
It's all the same. And then I was reading the Bible, and I was reading a story of David and Goliath, and Goliath was like so evil. No one wanted to fight Goliath because everybody was scared of Goliath. Everybody was scared. Even the king at the time of Israel was scared. Saul, he was scared. He was like, nah, I ain't fighting him. I don't know who's going to go.
Right.
And then David, he was a young man. He was small in stature. And he took out Goliath with a rock and a slingshot because he had no fear. Evil to him was nothing. He saw it the same way, like, that's stupid. Like, why are y'all scared? He's disrespecting, Goliath is disrespecting the true and living God. So there's nothing.
Okay.
There's no greater evil.
Amazing. This young man had his hand, and then here. And the reason I want you to think about this, because these are the things you need to be thinking about. Not what you're going to wear, where you're going to live. You need to be thinking about these things. Really. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
What's the greatest evil?
I actually been thinking about this question since you had put it on your show.
Yeah.
And I thought about it. And I'm dead serious about this. The greatest evil right now in this third dimensional plane that we call Earth is Joe Biden and that administration. The Democrats. They are
We
tearing
can't
this
do
place up.
politics in church, man. take that mic. No, I'm playing. Okay. All right. Right here, and then the young man in the blue shirt. Oh, and then I'll take your hand. The greatest evil.
The greatest
Joe
evil?
Biden.
Deception.
Deception? Why do you say deception?
Deception, because it just going back to a lot of stuff that we've talked about today about gossip, and letting the deception fester, letting it just allow it to continue instead of standing up against the gossip.
Oh,
I
okay.
think it's just a lot going through my mind right now.
Oh, okay.
About that and the deception
on.
and just I really liked what he said about tolerance being the greatest evil.
Oh,
Just
okay.
going back again to allowing it
Okay.
to go on.
Amazing.
So that's just what I think.
The young man in the blue one, he just jumping up and down to respond.
I think I was smiling at you.
You were smiling at me?
Yeah.
That's why I asked you the question.
No, I think
What's the greatest? Is this your first time here?
Yes.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Oh, what's your name?
My name is Saeed.
Welcome, man.
I'm a big fan of yours.
Thank you. How did you find it? Oh, you listen to the show?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So what's the greatest evil?
The greatest evil is judgment.
Judgment?
To judge people, and because through judgment, that's how we do the evil things we do.
Oh, okay.
Because it blinds us to the reality of things, and it makes us be like God, or
Yeah.
through the judgment we like judge others and do things to others because we think we're better, but we're really not.
There you go. Do you judge?
I used to judge myself a lot.
And why?
Because I thought I was, inferior to everybody else.
You thought what?
I was inferior.
Oh, I see. And what made you think that about yourself?
Well, I mean,
What's
yeah,
that?
yeah. So
what is that?
Nothing. You know,
you held up this thing. What is it? Oh, crutches?
Yeah, so...
oh, that made you think you were inferior to everyone else?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's funny because when I was a kid, I didn't used to think that, but when I grew up into my teenage years and my adult years,
yeah,
I started looking around and I saw that I was, quote unquote, different, and so I felt sort of inferior to that. So I was judging myself and putting a lot of pressure on myself, and I hated myself for a while. But then like you said, I learned to forgive and move past it, and that's...
Right on.
Yeah.
So you don't judge yourself anymore?
No.
Nice.
Not anymore.
Right on. Amazing. Any questions for me or disagreements about anything?
Any questions for you? Actually, I do. It's a question. How can I overcome being, lazy?
Lazy?
Lazy, yes.
Lazy?
Lazy.
Are you a Mexican?
Yes. Yes.
You can't.
I can't? Yeah. Yeah.
It's in the culture. It's in the blood.
Yeah. you know the stereotype of the lazy Mexican with a hat and sleeping.
Yeah.
That's me right there. That's me. That's me. I'm just lazy. Why do you think we came to the service late? Because we're Mexican. Yeah.
Oh, boy, that's funny.
Yeah, so I'm just glad that Trump didn't deport me, because, yeah. So.
That's funny. That's a good question. You made me think about, I was talking to Samuel the other day, the Mexican cowboy boy. You ever heard of him?
Yeah.
That's him right there, right?
And
nice.
so, I'm more Mexican than him.
You're more Mexican?
Yeah. I am so Mexican. I am so Mexican. I'm illegal. So I don't know about this guy right here.
I know, huh? So I was asking Samuel, I'm like, Samuel, what do you do now that you don't work a night job? He's totally doing his business. What do you do when you get up in the morning now instead of going to work? He said, oh, I get up and I do the prayer, I make coffee, and then I relax. I'm like, you just woke up.
Yeah.
How you gonna relax if you just woke up? You're like, that's what Mexicans do.
Yep.
It's in the blood, man.
It's in, yeah. So
because if Samuel has to relax, believe me, he's a hard-working guy. It's just in the blood.
It's in the blood?
Yeah, so don't resent it. Just notice it. In all honesty, just notice that it's that way. But don't try to force yourself to change it. It's enough to recognize it and you will find that it will change by itself.
Oh, okay.
It really will, because the light of God is shining on it, and He's the one that bring on the change. So see it, but don't resent it, and you'll find yourself with natural energy overcoming it.
Oh, okay.
But if you judge yourself or try to force yourself to change it, it'll get worse.
Yes. So if I wake up at 11 or 12, it's all right. I'm not gonna worry about it.
No, if you wake up at 11 or 12, just know, you know what, I should be getting up earlier.
Yeah.
It's enough to see that, I'm telling you. But if you make a decision about it, it's going to get worse.
Okay.
It's enough to know that you want to get past this.
Okay. Okay.
We really can't change anything about ourselves. You can force yourself to get up and go work before 12 or whatever, but you'll find yourself into something else. You'll pick up another habit, another problem. But to see it is all we need, and it'll change.
It'll change.
Okay. All right? So you stay in bed until 12? You're like really lazy.
Yeah. So basically, I wake up at 10:30, and then I'm awake, but I'm just like, in the bed, just being, You know how Mexicans are.
Well, just start, notice it, and then wake up, get up. Are you doing the silent prayer?
Not as much as I should.
Yeah, and why not? Are you too lazy?
Yeah, I'm too lazy to do it.
Yeah. Maybe you need special counseling.
Yeah.
But get up and do the silent prayer. Make it every morning, do it, because it's the first thing you should do. And just notice that you have that laziness, and you'll overcome it. It will change.
Okay.
But don't put yourself down about it. Don't struggle with it. And it'll start to change.
Yes, thank you. And you've changed my life for the better.
Right on.
So I really want to thank you.
You're welcome, man. Stay with the prayer, stay present, and you haven't seen anything, it gets better.
Thank you.
All right? I'm glad you're here.
Oh, thank you.
Right on. And so is this your first time here too? Oh, and what's your name?
Oh, my name is Josh.
Josh, welcome, man.
Yeah.
And how did you find us?
Oh, well, he actually told me about you.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, good, man. Any questions for me?
No, not at the moment.
Okay, are you lazy too?
Just listening. No, just listen.
You're not lazy?
No, I'm not. I wake up in the morning. This time I woke up late, because my phone wasn't working properly.
Oh, you
I
wake
missed
up
the
in the
alarm.
morning, but this time you woke up late.
I said that on the phone. Yeah. No.
You look white. I thought you were white.
No, I'm Peruvian.
Oh, okay.
My parents, they're born from Peru, and I was born here.
Right on. Well, welcome, man, all right?
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, right here.
I would say,
I can't figure out how someone wake up in the morning, you had a long night's sleep, you make coffee, and then you go relax some more.
You're not adding that. After I relax, I'll go work all day.
I bet you do, after you relax again.
Yeah, gotta find time to relax.
That's for sure. Yes, sir.
yeah, so for the greatest evil question, I
Yeah.
would say,
What is the greatest evil?
I would say rejecting God, because I think all the other evils that, we can really point out kind of stem from that.
Yeah.
And actually, like we were talking about in our one-on-one session the other day, I think once you do that, once you reject God, then you can justify anything. And then you don't really see it as evil anymore, because if there's no God, you're rejecting God, then what's stopping you? You know what I mean?
Okay. It's amazing you changed, man. Remember that? Yeah. Wow, your life has changed. Stay with the prayer, and it's just going to get better. All right? Do you see the change happening in you?
A little bit.
Yeah. That's amazing, man. I got to ask this young lady, because you had an impact on me on Thursday night.
Hello.
You really did. What is the greatest evil? This is your first time here at a church service, right?
Correct.
Okay. What's the greatest evil?
Yeah, I agree with that, gentleman. Is that greatest evil. Yeah, it all just kind of stems from like you turning your back on God, because that will lead to many other things like hurting the innocent, or how do you say which is worse? Because you could stand up, like if you don't stand up, that's equally as bad as like the person that's doing the evil thing, for example, to like an innocent.
Oh, okay.
But both of those things do stem from them rejecting or denouncing God.
Are you doing the silent prayer now?
Yes, I am.
Okay, you just started?
Yes, after we spoke.
After
Yes,
Thursday?
correct.
Amazing. And so what do you think about the prayer? Any question about it?
No, I think it's pretty straightforward. I feel good. Working through some stuff, as I said before. I'm just trying to be better every day, but there's only so much I can do. The only the only thing that can help us is God.
Yeah.
And that's
Well,
the only, God can only
truly
lighten our
with you.
load. Yeah.
Believe me, it's only because of God you're around.
Oh, I know that because I put it to the test.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's amazing. Well, stay with the silent prayer, all right?
Right.
Any questions for me or anything?
Yeah, well, you said I had an impact. How so?
Knowing what you had gone through and that you're still here today, and that God had brought you to the point of the silent prayer, and because He's with you, if it wasn't for Him, you wouldn't be around.
Amen. Yeah.
And that's a lot. And then I like the way you're dealing with it. It's like you're not like down and out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right on.
So stay with the silent prayer.
I definitely will. It's been amazing.
It's amazing. That's right. Amazing. Yes, sir. And then I wind it down.
Hello, that's my first time here.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Welcome, man.
Thank
What's
you.
your name?
Jared.
How did you find us, Jerry?
This guy here and the guy in the Life is Good shirt over there with the fancy beard.
Right on. Well, thank you for coming.
No, I like to thank them because gave me a lot to think about over this entire pandemic, and they showed me, your videos and stuff on YouTube, and it just got me thinking about life and stuff in a different way. So I appreciate it.
Right on.
To answer your question, at least
greatest evil.
What I think it is. It's been said. I'm going to clarify. I think what I think is ego is, I think, the greatest evil, because all of our problems can stem from it, and you don't have to be religious to understand ego. Like sometimes I feel like we forget that other people, or at least for me, what it was, like one day I realized that like other people are just as important to themselves as I am to me.
Yeah.
And it's like, I can't get mad at somebody, or I can't, judge somebody or assume something from somebody. And I realized like, oh, I do that a lot actually, and I assume, and I take things personally. And I think a lot of people do that, and I'm not the only one that does. So yeah, I think ego.
Okay.
Sums it up.
Amazing. Any questions for me? Or disagreements or anything?
No, it's so funny because when I first started listening to you, I was like, this guy's wacky. But it's like I actually listened to you, and I was like, oh my God, no, he's just speaking the truth. Like, it's so simple. Like, it really is simple.
Yeah.
Like, things get way too complicated. People make things too complicated
Yeah.
because it comes down to their ego and willingness to admit that they're wrong about something. Yeah, I don't know. It's just
right on. Well, I'm glad you're here.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. James, anybody want to answer that online? No. Oh, okay. Anybody else want to respond to that question? Right here.
I believe the greatest evil is real men dying off from the face of earth, like
real men dying.
Like you, once you're
I'm never dying, buddy.
Pray to God.
You're a day late and a dollar short.
But once.
No, I know what you mean.
Once the truth is out of the world, the greatest evil will be a reality,
Yeah.
and that there's not many of you left here in this world, and it's true. We have to stand up
Yeah.
and speak it with the future to confront evil with truth.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, where's Francisco? I want to ask him. Frankie, what is the greatest evil?
We talked about it already.
Oh, we did? Oh, yeah. I forgot. He's a Mexican, too. He doesn't look like it, right? But he is. Yes, James.
Mr. Fell gave a YouTube super chat and said,
Thank you.
greatest evil is to convince God's children that they are not.
That they're not evil?
I think that they're not God's children.
Oh, they're not, okay, all right.
That's about it. Others you can hear on the show tomorrow.
Okay, what do you think, Esteban? What's the greatest evil?
I think it's like eventually not listening to God, because like we're all like in the fallen state, sinning. We all have issues, and we all get like warnings and you know patience and time to change. But some people never like listen to it. So I think it's not eventually listening to God and
okay.
obeying Him.
All right, interesting. I like all the answers, to be honest with you. Kelly want to respond. Oh, Mary and then Kelly. Yes, Mary. The greatest evil.
The greatest evil is just, to me, resentment.
Resentment. Why do you say resentment?
Because when you resent, then you get hateful, and hate gets into you, and then you just pass it around.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Kelly, what's the greatest evil? Kelly is the producer of The Fallen State, the TV show. Amazing producer.
I think it's
hard-working producer.
I think it's resentment.
She's white. Okay.
Oh, I just said I think it's resentment.
Resentment. Why do you say resentment?
Because that's what makes you, basically, puts you in the shoes of playing God.
Oh, okay.
And when you're, playing God, you can't.
Have you thought about this before?
No.
It's a good question, right?
It is.
Amazing question. Okay. And the last is the young man in the hat right there. The greatest evil.
Yeah, I think the greatest evil is not submitting to God's will. And I think that way because I think evil, it's small in God's eyes. It's like there's no like great scale that God sees evil. I think it's easy to overcome, but the origin of it, I think, could be like just not submitting to God's will and think your will is greater.
Yeah.
And from that, you get judgment, resentment, because things are not going the way you think they should go.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. This your first time here?
No, I've been here one time before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Any questions about anything?
No, everything's great.
Oh, okay.
Appreciate you.
Are you married?
This is my wife, yeah.
Oh, that's your wife?
Yeah, we've been here before with you. We had a meeting.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh,
a while
amazing.
back.
Oh, man. So how is it being married?
It's great.
You like it?
Yeah.
Are you the head of your wife?
Yes.
Is he the head of you? Oh, okay. Good. Okay. Well, thank you, man.
Thank you, Jesse.
All right. Yes, Chris. The greatest evil.
Oh, I didn't know I had my hand up.
I saw it all in your face.
Right, yeah. Well, as I explained on the show, there is really no greatest evil. I would say in God's eyes, it's all the same.
Oh, yeah.
But,
I remember you saying that now.
Yeah, hatred, playing God, I think those are all pretty good examples as well.
So Chris took Joel's place. He was you're still the social media guy somewhere, right? But he's audio engineer now. The greatest evil is forgetfulness. That's the greatest evil. Forgetfulness, when you forget. Because when you forget, you lose, as this young man was saying, you lose sight of the Father. You go back into the darkness of your imagination. That's why you should pray without ceasing so that you don't forget. And you remember to live in the present, and when you're tempted by evil, you will not fall for it. Because in the presence of God, He's changing your life from the fallen state to His nature. And that's why He doesn't want you to forget to pray. You got to remember to stay with the silent prayer. Because a lot of people forget. They start out and life open up for them, and they say all is well, and they forget to pray. They don't do it anymore. And they go right back into that darkness. Also, when you remember instead of forgetting, you develop the principles of God. You start to recognize if someone is, number one, You love God with all your heart, soul, and might, along with nothing else, and your neighbor as yourself. So when you're confronted by your enemy, it's no big deal. It's not personal because you're in the present. You haven't forgotten and gone back into the darkness. You develop the values of God. That's one of the reasons they're written down in the Bible, because people don't remember. And so when you read them, it reminds you of what you already know. And so that's why it's good to sometimes read the Bible so you can remember those values, and it'll bring you back to knowing it from within. Forgetfulness is the worst, the greatest of all evil. You got to remember, pray without ceasing. Don't let anything or anyone take you away from it, because that's what Satan wants you to do. He cannot come into the presence where God is. He has to bring you out of it so you can forget. We all already know the truth. As little kids, we were born with the truth. But because we were traumatized, we forget it. And that's why when you wake up, you start to remember what you already know. And you're going to see that it's not really a surprise that you already know this. You just forgot that you knew. So you got to, I recommend you do the silent prayer so you can grow in them. And you're going to grow in the principles, you're going to grow in everything. He will cause you to do that. And don't let Satan talk to you. Don't make anyone cause you to forget. All right? It's open door for evil. You got to stay present. And it's going to be amazing what happens. I've been doing it now for 31 years. And because I stay with it, a lot of stuff, it's just becoming so natural now. You overcome all fears, you overcome all doubts, you just live. You become a living being. And then you'll notice that your mindset has changed, that you remember the Father. You don't forget the Father. You really don't forget him. But if you're in that fallen state or you're not serious about it, and serious about it means don't walk around all serious about it. It's just, that's the first thing, to get up in the morning, do the silent prayer. And once you start developing that relationship with the Father, you never want to forget the Father anymore. When the mothers traumatize the children, they turn them away from the fathers, and they forget the Father. But once you go back to the Father, you remember. And it's amazing. Forgetfulness is the greatest of all evil. So do the silent prayer. Stay out of your head. Every thought is a lie. No matter what happened, don't overreact. No matter what it is. Whether it's a drunk woman smoking pot or a young man dealing with his stuff, it's no big deal. You're going to see it's no big deal. But Satan wants you to forget the Father, remember his mess, so you can hurt yourself. Like with the smoking and stuff, no big deal, right? It's something you don't want to do, but if you stay with the silent prayer and have no opinion about it, it's enough to know that you don't want to do it. Eventually, you just lose the taste for the world. You will overcome it. Because God cares about the heart. He is of love, and he wants to bring you back to love because he's trying to create love. And he creates love through human beings. That's why we have to even love our enemies. We can't even hate our enemies because the enemy needs love as well. And the enemy could be lost, is lost, because he or she cannot see. So stay with the silent prayers, stay present. Yes, sir.
Oh, now that you said love our enemies, are we supposed to love Satan?
You love him by not hating him. Because if you hate him, you're going to take on his identity. And you want to discern it. Mm-hmm. And the discernment protects you from evil.
Okay. Because
somebody said, how do you see evil, right?
Yes.
You're going to see it. But if you don't overreact, you'll see how to deal with it as well.
Because I've had this conversation with other Christians, and I've told them we gotta love our enemies. We gotta love.
Yes.
We cannot hate anybody, and so they say, "Oh, so do you love Satan?" And so I say, "Yes," because he, despite of all, he's still a creation of God. So I'm not into him, but I still feel like a love for him, just like I would from my.
And you deal with it. You just don't hate it.
Oh, okay.
Because that's your protection from evil. That's why we become like other people when we were kids, because we hate what happened. Even as an adult, if you hate, let's say that somebody stole your wallet. Your friend stole your wallet, right? And then you realize, oh, I hate my friend. They stole my wallet. You become like that yourself. You'll find yourself tempted to take a wallet. It's so weird. That's why we, the children of God, we are literally protected from evil when we don't forget the Father. We're protected. And then you have, as I believe someone said about the courage, you have courage. You will see everybody else freak. And this is so important, because if you look at the world right now, the world is freaking out. Even the Christians are afraid. They have doubt. They're worried. They're all kinds of stuff, because they have not entered into the kingdom of heaven within. And in the kingdom of heaven, there's power. And so with that power, you're protected from the world. You do not walk around thinking, I'm afraid of anything. You don't think that you're not afraid, but you see other people freaking out, and you just don't have it. You're like, wow, that's amazing. You're not thinking about that. You are protected. And it's so important that you enter the kingdom of heaven within, because if you don't enter the kingdom of heaven within, you will be defeated, especially in the world today. Only the children who enter the kingdom of heaven within will survive the things to come and what's happening now, because you are protected from within, not from without. Don't forget that. You got to do the private prayer so you can enter the kingdom and you can live from that kingdom. And you can live in power and in love. And you're going to speak up, but you won't hold anything against anyone. You're going to be able to defend yourself, but it just won't affect you personally, because you're a son or daughter of God. You will be protected from it. And you'll see the right time and the right place to do all things, because you're guided by the light. It would just work. And I'm a living witness to it. I wouldn't notice if it wasn't happening to me. And all this stuff that we've made so important in life, judging one another, gossiping, and carrying on, it's so stupid. You're going to want to beat yourself. You think Oprah said Harpo beat her? You're going to want to beat yourself worse than Harpo. Because it's so dumb and stupid to judge our fellow man, to hold on to stuff. It's just a waste of time. It's a waste of life. But in that fallen state, it seems like a big deal. It's not a big deal. If someone hears that she smoked pot, right? Some people think, oh, that's a big deal. What's wrong with her, right? She smoked pot. But to me, it's just something she have to let go of, because she used to. Were you smoking pot when you used the N-word? You sure? I wanted to ask you that. She used the N-word on the phone? Were you on the phone?
Yeah, I was on.
You would talk to the students?
Yeah, I was on the Instagram live, yeah.
And she like, ew, N-word?
Yeah, they spelled out.
How did you spell it?
They spelled it weird, so I ended up pronouncing nigga. So, yeah.
She used the word nigga. Yeah. Are you fired?
No.
Are you still teaching?
Yeah, I'm still teaching till the end of the school year.
Until
the end of the school
And then they said they're going to let you go?
Yes, I'm looking for another job.
I'm surprised they didn't just get rid of you.
Well, I mean.
I'm glad they didn't, and
Yeah,
they
me
shouldn't
too.
anyway, but
Right.
maybe because you're not white.
Maybe.
If you were white, you'd have been gone yesterday. As soon as the end came out, it would have been over.
Well, I do want to clarify, this is my teacher Instagram, so this is how I keep in touch with my students just from all over the years, from Chicago and here.
Mhm.
But it has nothing to do with the school, so they can't, I'm not
Oh.
connected to the school at all.
Oh, good.
So I do not send emails or anything regarding my class through Instagram, not at all. No.
That's right, clean it up.
Yeah, so that's different.
That's nice. But listen, are you over worried about what others think about you? Are you still
Yeah,
dealing
I'm
with
still
that?
working on that one.
Yeah. Stay with the silent prayer. All that will be taken away from you. I want you all to understand we can't change anything. We can't change being insecure. We can't change being whatever you're into in that fallen state, but He will change it, because it's all spiritual, and of ourselves we can do nothing. Even with the ladies who are giving your boyfriends and husbands a hard time, you can't change that. It's enough to know that you're wrong. do the silent prayer, and it'll work itself out. It really will. But if you try to change it, you're going to only get worse. Don't forget, stay with the silent prayer. Remember the Father. And the Father loves you. And love is amazing. It's life, it's everything. It's powerful, but you got to live from within. Any question about that? That makes sense, or anyone disagree? And somebody mentioned simplicity. Living the, you know, God said, come unto me, my yoke is easy, my burdens are light. He was absolutely right. His ways are so easy, it's hard to find words for it. It really is. So here's what I recommend, because the time is up. Do the silent prayer. Stop judging yourself and others. Speak up, but don't resent. And your life will change. All that old stuff will fall away, and he will put you back on the path. You will become an observer, and you would know of yourself you could do nothing. So don't judge yourself. It's going to change. But you got to stay with the silent prayer. Who's not doing the silent prayer? Who's doing it off and on? Oh, okay. Stay with it. All right? And we know you're lazy. That's why you're not doing it. What made you not do it every morning and night? The young man in the back. Why don't you stay with it?
I mean, I think the same reason as the young lady. I mean, I've had problems with pot as well.
With pot?
Yeah. I mean, my parents both used it, and
okay.
One still does, and yeah, it's been something that's kind of always been present.
And you smoke pot every day?
Yeah, for the last, like 7 years.
Oh, amazing. Yeah. Night and day?
Night and day, every day, all day.
You live with your parents?
No, not anymore. I'm visiting for a couple weeks. I'm getting a new tooth put in, but yeah, I live in Milwaukee.
Oh, okay.
Wisconsin, yeah.
It's so interesting to me that the world has convinced human beings to smoke pot. They're like, smoking pot, no big deal. It's medicine. And all the millennials run out to get high. And they walk around like zombies. And while you're walking around like zombies, they'll pass laws against you. They're destroying you and convince you that it's okay to be high. I never thought I would see that. How can another human being convince another human being that it's okay to be high? Why would you want to be high every day, all day? It doesn't even make sense. But you let the world influence you in that way. But don't worry, God can cause you to overcome it. Yes, James, real fast. Does that make sense to be high? And the millennium will fight you on it. Well, it's just medicine. God made it. Isn't that amazing? What? When I was in my 20s, I tried it, but it was nothing like it is today. When they said it was weed, it was weed. It barely gets you high, but it would get you high. The pot today smelled like it had like gasoline or something in it. It's not normal. Yeah. This pot today, you can smell it all over the neighborhood. That's not normal for pot. You know what I mean?
It's been enhanced by man, so it's not really like God's gift anymore. It's been altered.
That's for sure. It's like, I'll be afraid to smoke. It smells like they put extra drugs in it or something. You could get high off the pot just walking down the street. Somebody else smoking. It's not good for you guys and ladies. It really not. Yes.
Asmodor gave a Trovo super cap and said, America's enemies love the fact that all our young people are smoking pot.
Yeah, absolutely. They love the fact that y'all high. Really. And you're messing up your life by being high. And don't let anyone convince you that being high is good. It's not. And you'll see that once you overcome it, because all of a sudden you're going to wake up, you're going to see reality, you have more energy, you'll find yourself functioning in life. And when people try to deceive you, you will see where they're coming from. But when you're high, everything looks nice. You know what I mean? Stay off the pot. It's not good. And then a lot of potheads are like homeless and everything. They can't hold on to jobs, but they high, and they think it's fine. I can't believe you let the world deceive you like that. We got to bring back Christianity and love. Last word. You had your hand, right?
Oh, you said you asked who's doing the sound.
Yeah. Oh, okay. No, the young man behind you. Did I see you?
I was just gonna ask if you think it should be legal.
No.
You don't?
Because human beings are too weak to resist the temptation.
Not even medicinally though?
No.
Well, I don't know.
You
for
smoke
sure.
pot?
I used to. I don't really smoke anymore.
When the last time you smoked it?
Like a month ago.
Oh, okay. Would you like better this way or being high? We know the answer to that one.
It's like you're right. It does deceive you a little bit.
Yeah.
Because you feel like you have all the answers, and you feel like it's like kind of like faking being in the presence of God almost.
Yes. Absolutely.
But just because it's medicine doesn't mean you have to do it every day. And I mean, it's medicine for people who might have cancer or might.
But
be
you wouldn't even do real medicine every day. You only do it for a certain period.
That's what I'm saying.
Because you become addicted to it.
Yeah.
But it's not medicine, man.
Well,
Then
not
they
just
say,
for the
okay,
average
we're going to
person.
pass laws so you can get it legally, right? And they make buku money off you, and then they use the money to destroy the country. You know what I'm saying? It's a setup. It's all about the money. It's not about you. It's about the money. That's why they want to legalize prostitution. They want to legalize abortion. They want to legalize smoking pot. They want everything legal so you could be dumb and out of it, and they can destroy you because it weakens you. And you can't destroy a strong person. You have to weaken them. So stay away from it, man. All right? Real fast.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to make a comment about how evil they are with laws that they're trying to pass.
So what now?
I was in a conference for legislative laws this past week, and that they're trying to pass here in California. And one of them was actually trying to force employers to give employees that are do drugs the time so that they can within work like a break so that they can actually take drugs. And it's a bill that they said is very likely it will pass. And I go like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Like now employers have to pay for someone to take a break so they can get high or do whatever drugs they do. Like it's
Well,
pretty
that's what
insane.
happens when they
but
dumb you
that's
down.
the whole evil that it's going on. And
Yeah.
people are not seeing it, how they're even trying to enforce it into labor as well. So.
And then after a while, they're going to say, okay, you can fly a plane and be high. It's just marijuana, it's medicine. It's going to go from worse to worse to worse. I recommend you come out of the world, be in it but not of it, so that they can follow us and we not follow darkness. All right? So do the silent prayer. Seek the kingdom of God in his right way and all will be added. Stop judging yourself in that fallen state. Then you'll overcome it. Don't be mad about it. It's enough to know you want to overcome. And that's what it means to be born again, all right? Just relax. It's not a big deal. There's nothing in life that's such a big deal you need to be angry about or overreact to it. One last thing. Another thing that's going to happen to you, when you're of the world, there are things that are too important to you. Money, friendship, familyship, material things, reputation, all that stuff becomes real important to you. But once you're in the world but not of it, God changes all that where you can take it or leave it. And that way the children of the light can't control you with it. So let's say you're going through a divorce and the wife knows that the court is on her side and she's like, oh, I'm going to take your children. Okay, you can have them. Bye. Because they're not that important, right? But yet you love your children, but not enough important where you can be controlled by it. That makes sense? And God will take care of you. He'll take care of you. Don't waste your money in these courts and paying child support and wife support or husband support. I don't think women have to pay it, all right?
It depends on the situation. If they make more.
Oh, okay. But listen, God will change all that for you. He loves you. When I smoked pot for a minute, it got you high, but you weren't that high. You know, you need at least 3 joints to get really high. And it wasn't strong enough, you know, even that little pot made you high. I couldn't handle that. You got to stay away from the pot, folks, and stop letting Satan make you make excuses about it. Because every thought is a lie. So when the thoughts tell you that it's okay to get high, it's not true. You want to be aware. You want to remember and not forget. All right? You want to remember. You do not want to forget. So thank you all for tuning in. I absolutely appreciate it. Stay with the silent prayer. Speak up, but don't resent. We got to bring Christianity back. It's time to bring that back and bring love. Love God with all your heart, soul, and might, along with nothing else, and love your enemy, your neighbor, as yourself. It's beautiful to live that way. And God loves us, and He wants to take care of us. All right? Thank you all for tuning in and coming. I appreciate it. Oh. We have the men's conference coming up in August, and it's going to be in Orlando, Florida. Our annual conference in Orlando, Florida. It's going to be amazing. You don't want to miss it. Down there, you don't have to wear masks and all that kind of stuff, so it'll be fun to go somewhere else. What? Come here for a minute. This is Ermin's my PR guy.
Hey. Tickets are on sale, so
how can they get
go
them?
to rebuildingtheman.com or jesseleepeterson.com.
Oh, okay. And a lot of guys are already checking in for it. So no ladies. So all you weak men who have to bring your wife, they can't get into the event. Just know that, all right? Maybe they can go to Disneyland somewhere. But no, but it's for guys only because it's amazing what happens, how we open up and talk. It's for guys only. And the other thing is we have a challenge grant for $4,500, and we need your help. They will give us up to $4,500 if we can raise that. And so I appreciate your support on that as well. Any other announcement, Hermes? If we don't have your email address, we need your email address so we can see Marlene. Yeah, see Marlene. But I'm talking to people on camera right now. Hey. No, I'm playing. Email address, all right? We need your emails if we don't have it. Also, if you want to receive our newsletter, we put out a newsletter 3 times a year or so. It's an amazing newsletter. If we don't have your P.O. box or your physical address, we're not able to send you one. There's no cost for it, all right? So make sure you give Marlene that as well. All right, folks, thank you so much for your Super Chats and D-Lives and donations. I appreciate it. And thanks for tuning in. All right, I do appreciate it. Thank you all. That was fun. So.